Hey guys, good afternoon everyone. Happy Monday. It's the 27th of December. And for those people who are dropping by for the first time, I am Miss JD and you're very lucky. This is the first time I am revealing myself and today is very special because I have invited a guest that we can interview
So,
and he will be joining us very shortly. So, for those people who have no idea what this channel is all about, I do review stocks in the Philippine market, US market, and sometimes cryptocurrencies. But I think I'm gonna start incorporating a new content, and that's interview with people who are uh, engaged in this type of journey. And I'm so happy to introduce to you guys Benjamin Teodoro. Benjamin, I think you can share your video now, and we'll be interviewing him.
hello, Miss JD. How are you?
All good, all
Ang
good.
ganda-ganda mo pala.
Na, na, nagsuklay
You're
ako
very
just
pretty, huh?
um, so that's the perks of not showing yourself when you do videos.
Ah,
You don't have to comb
voice
yourself. But
also.
this time I have to comb myself because I'm sharing my video. But really, I'm so happy, Benjamin, for you having time or for you joining us today, and we're really interested to know you as a person and anything that you'd like to share to us. Okay, maybe we can start with you sharing a little bit about yourself or anything you'd like to share about yourself. Who is Benjamin Tudoro?
I am a retired bank officer, and I have been working in the bank since the 1980s. I
Mm-hmm.
started working in a commercial bank. Solid, pwede kong sabihin, ano? Solid bank. Then I transferred to a what do you call this? A foreign bank,
Mm-hmm.
Citibank. And then I took the exams, the CPA board. Then
Mm-hmm.
after I took that, I um, worked in another bank, PCI, no, which
Mm-hmm.
became Equitable PCI, and now BDO.
Oh.
So I rose from the ranks. Actually, I was already an officer in City when I transferred to Equitable PCI, which became BDO later on.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, I was assigned as I joined compliance in early 2000, and later on, I was assigned to the Hong Kong branch as the
Mm-hmm.
compliance head.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I returned from Hong Kong, naging OFW ako eh for about 8 months kasi the guy from Hong Kong resigned. Eh, walang kapalit, ano? Walang
Uh-uh.
kapalit. Sabi nila, "O Benji, pumunta ka raw ron sa Hong Kong." Sabi ko, teka, may trabaho ko dito. Hindi, ikaw ang pinapapunta. Ah,
Mm-mm.
ganon. Anyway, I went there, and then nung nagkaroon na ng kapalit, I came back. It's just a short stint, mga 8 months. I was assigned to the BDO Private Bank as Chief Compliance Officer,
Mm-hmm.
reporting to the board. And
Nice.
it's a very tough job. It's
Do you handle it
uh,
or individual contributor kind of organization?
how's that?
Individual contributor ka or are there people under you that you manage?
Okay. Compliance kasi is more of a control function in the company, and
Mm-mm.
I ensure that the company is compliant with regulatory laws and regulations, ano?
Mm-mm.
So I have people under me, but since I am independent, I report directly to the board.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
administratively, I report to the president BDO Private Bank, as well as the president of BDO Unibank.
Got
So
it.
it's
Very,
a very
very
tough job.
important role in your organization indeed. No. So I think my next question is, so I will not be surprised if your exposure to the stock market is really solid because you had a solid bank background in the banking sector. Is this where you started
Well,
your journey?
actually, my journey started way back, even before I was assigned in compliance, way back in the early 2000. And alam mo, during that time when I was
Mm.
last
Our
year only,
six
ago.
is
And then I had a wrong impression of, that's right, I have a wrong impression of money. Akala
uh-huh.
ko, you it's okay to borrow, uh, magkaroon ka ng utang kasi magkakaroon ka ng things. But
Mm.
I found out that sometimes, when you do that, wala eh, you cannot save, no, for a rainy day.
Oo.
Especially during my time, nagkaroon ng credit cards, di ba? Binibigyan
Mm.
yung mga banks nagbibigay ng credit cards. Kami credit card ka, malakas ang loob mo eh.
Oo.
And I didn't understand then na pagka gumamit ka ng credit card, kailangan mong bayaran. Hindi ko yun na-understand. And
Okay.
so I just learned it the hard way. But of course, there are good loans, di ba? Like into assets like house and lots. But at the time, hindi ko yun na-understand. I just became conscious when I had credit card debt.
Mm.
Yun, hard lesson yun sa akin. It's a hard lesson to learn. Wala akong idea about investing. Nothing.
Oo.
Zero. And I only learned about investing when I was able to settle my credit card debt.
Interesting.
Dahil,
Kasi sa bangko ka. And it
yes,
was
very
before the bank
interesting.
experience or during the banking experience na? Were you already employed as a bank officer when you had your credit card debt?
Yes, pero hindi pa ako senior officer noon. I was just a
Ah.
junior officer then. And alam mo ginawa ko noon? Kasi ang taas ng interest rate sa credit cards eh.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Sabi ko, ako, patay ako dito. Paano ko mababayaran to, no? Uh, Pagka nagpa yung credit, ay extra, di ba? Interest expense. So what I did was, since the bank had this salary loan or something, appliance loan, what I did was I borrowed from the bank, which had a lower interest rate, in order to pay that credit card 100, and I
Oh.
settled for a lower interest rate.
Oo. Oo.
Pinagtyagaan ko yun for
Oo.
2 years.
Yeah.
And then when I was debt free, then I began to learn about investing, investing in various products. Hindi ako nag-start sa stocks eh. I started out with, say, insurance. No, I thought kasi insurance was a joke eh. Akala ko joke yun. I thought people just wanted to get my money, but it's not actually.
Oo.
It's an investment. So I learned that the hard way actually.
Or at least may
Kasi
happy ending
yung
naman.
wife ko kasi, how's that?
Nagka-happy ending yung nightmare na yun.
Naging happy ending siya. Correct. Naging happy ending siya. Kasi nga, kasi ayoko nang magkaroon ng debt because of that bad experience with
Mm-mm.
the credit cards eh. Kasi when you have debts with credit cards, hay nako, they will harass you ah. Hindi biro yun. They will harass harass you. They will call you. Pero hindi ko na pinaabot doon. I,
Oo.
I,
Good thing.
I knew what was coming eh. And so I paid it in full by borrowing from the bank
Oo.
with a lower interest rate. And then I tried very hard to live within my means. Yun yung
Nice.
pinakamahalaga. Di ba?
Very
If you
good.
live beyond your means, wala. You'll
Ah,
never, you'll never rise again.
para kang hinihimel every every day. There's a short time to be satisfied because you bought XYZ and you're happy for a
Correct.
few minutes. But after na nun, once it's pay time, parang every day halos hindi ka makatulog. There's this
Tama.
mark in your
Tama.
mind, parang something's missing in my day, na parang hindi peaceful yung tulog ko. Yeah, but really curious to know during that time when you started investing and then eventually, well, how long did you invest in the insurance before you started diving into stocks?
Investing in what? In
So
other
you started,
products?
yeah, you started with insurance, right?
With insurance. Actually, it started way, way back. And then I learned that there's this UITFs, mutual funds,
Mm-mm.
one way of making an investment because in the back, meron silang promo if you're an
Yeah.
employee of the bank,
Mm.
the money from your account come payday and nakaka-invest ako sa UITFs ano.
Mm.
That's where I started. And then my wife who is a portfolio manager in another bank,
Mm-mm.
sa kanya ako natuto actually. Kasi she was handling accounts of clients and pagka umuwi kami when we get home, nag-uusap kami on kinakwento niya yung mga stocks na binibili niya and dinidispose niya. Doon
So
ako natuto. That's where I started.
mas nauna siyang
How's
na-expose
that?
sa market. Mas nauna siyang ma-expose sa
Mas
stock.
nauna siyang na-expose kasi she's a portfolio manager in a
Mm-mm.
trust department.
Mm-mm. Nice. So I'm
Department
just curious to know.
other people's money.
Sorry, it's overlapping. I think it's technical issue. Um, so during that time, so we're very lucky at this point because we have so many resources online. You have
That's right.
YouTubers like us who share insights on how we look at the
That's right.
stocks for any given time. But how was studying? Because studying is very important in our journey. How Where do you get your information? How does they look like studying your stocks?
Okay. I didn't start with the stock market na alam ko na kagad, di ba? So I started somewhere and it started with a seminar.
Mm-mm.
The trust department of our bank had this seminar and the speaker was Efren Reyes. He's very knowledgeable about the market and stocks. So
Mm-mm.
nabuksan yung mind ko sa kanya. And
Mm-mm.
my wife and I attended the presentation kasi my wife is not from BDO, she's from another bank. Eh. Sabi ko,
Mm-mm.
oh, may presentation dito si Trust Department kasi they wanted people to invest. Eh.
Mm-mm.
So I started to listen and I learned about different products like UITFs, bonds. I started actually with the conservative one, Treasury bills, and bonds, and
Mm-mm.
then later on with Efren Reyes, I started with stocks. So sabi niya, maraming stocks in the Philippine market which you can buy, especially those which are called quote-unquote blue chips, ano. So sabi ko, ano kaya yung blue chip nito? Then my wife was explaining, alam mo, yung mga blue chips, karamihan yan mga nasa index. Ano yung index? So, doon na nagsimula, no? Doon na nagsimula yung aking curiosity. And from then on, I started to buy these stocks, especially stocks which pay dividends. So, yung mga magagandang kumpanya na malalaki, at meron namang ibang kumpanya dyan na hindi naman nagbibigay ng dividend, but nagkakaroon ng capital appreciation yung presyo, no, yung presyo ng stocks. So that's where I started, and then I started to do research, and then my wife again, nag-uusap kami, and then sabi niya, alam mo, maganda fundamentals itong stock na ito, pero sa kaya itong fundamentals at saka technical. So pinag-aralan ko, I started to research, and sa kaka-research ko, I came across a book, yung book ni Jason Kam, yung The Trading Code. And I was able to get hold of it, and I began to read, pero puro technical siya.
Natapos mo ba
Then I
yun?
began to read.
Natapos
ko. Natapos ko yun.
Yan, pero mga halfway lang ako nakabasa.
Tinapos ko yun.
Na-excited ko, dive na agad. Pero I got one through a friend naman. She gave that to me. Tapos yun na yatang basahin, so binigay niya sa akin. Pero hindi ko naman natapos basahin. Pero that's a good book, ha? Maganda yan.
Magandang yung book na yun kasi Philippine setting siya. Philippine setting. At madaling makarelate.
Correct.
Madaling makarelate. And then nabasa ko rin yung who's this author, yung American author. That book also.
Anong book ulit yan?
Reminiscences of a Stock Trader. At saka yan yung mga early day traders ng ng Wall Street na he made money in the stock market. Yun, nabasa ko yung book na yun. Hindi ko natutukan actually. Hindi ko siya natutukan actually. So ang ginagawa ko kasi, bumibili ako ng blue chip stock. More of a long-term investor ako . So mga blue chip ang binibili ko, especially those, partial ako dun sa nagbibigay ng dividend. Kasi you earn money, and at the same time the stock appreciates. If it goes down, hindi ka mababahala doon because it will rise again because these are very good companies.
So may mga hawak ka pa na ever since nasa portfolio mo hanggang ngayon andyan pa rin?
Hanggang ngayon andyan pa rin. Kasi there were stocks which I bought way back 2013, 2014. Yan. Hawak pa rin. Hawak ko pa rin yon kasi I hold it because of the dividends that it gives.
Galing.
Ngayon, yung may mga ibang stocks like example, PLDT. Nabili ko ng 2018, pero 2017 at its height, it went down. But I'm not.
Pero solid. Solid sa dividend yun, your line is breaking up.
And then, yun yung yun yung philosophy ko pagdating sa stocks I'm not so much for speculative stocks, no. But sometimes I do buy IPOs which I think merong good potential. Yun. So that's where I started in the stocks.
Pero
And
may mga YouTube na ba na you get resources from during that time or nito na lang yun?
actually, noong 2017 or 2018, I was looking for um, yung knowledge on technical analysis as well as fundamentals. But I wanted to learn technical analysis. So yung kami nabasa ko yun. But how do I apply this, di ba? How do I apply this? So I came across your channel. Nakita ko yung channel mo. Baba, mahusay ito. Sabi ko, itong si Miss JD.
Pero yung time na yun talagang, ano pa lang ako noon, as in, really new. I started mga 2017, 2018, if I can remember. And may sinusundan din akong YouTuber. And I learned a lot from kaya sinunod ko lang din yung style niya. But I have a different objective. Talagang just to document my thoughts. Pero that's actually how we met, ano. You were consistent in watching my videos, so thank you for that. But yun
Idol kita actually.
yung tawag nito, yung sa'yo, if I can correct me if I'm wrong, fundamentals talaga yung inumpisahan mo na you prefer to engage in a stock na solid yung fundamentals, and right now
Fundamentally sound.
your journey is to strike a balance between the two so that you engage in a stock na solid ang fundamentals, and then you want to have a good timing because you know how to perform technical analysis. So that's what I'm
Kasi fundamentals kasi is fundamentals precedes the technicals eh. Yun yung belief ko eh. The fundamentals always comes for the technicals eh. If the technical says it's this, but the fundamental says no, the value of the stock is this much. So, sa akin yun, kung mababa yung stock, opportunity to buy yun eh.
Nice, very nice.
Opportunity to buy.
Yep.
So there are some stocks I continue to buy right now.
So now that we know that your journey has been a very colorful journey from the beginning. Who would imagine that the source of your stress before is actually a source of your happiness now? Because one, you're continuously engaged in it, and at the same time, nag-branch out ka na. May YouTube ka na because of this. So tell me more about your channel. I know you're in YouTube now because of this journey. What do you feature in your channel, and what's your channel?
Actually, my channel is I entitled it The Stock Market Today, and initially I was thinking of actually pareho tayo ng objective eh, to record my thoughts on the stock market and also to share the learnings that I have had in my stock market journey, no? Kasi before, when I was just starting the stock market, bumibili lang naman ako ng stocks tapos iniiwanan ko na yun. No. Kahit iwanan ko yan, hindi ako pababayaan ng stock na yan, ano? So up to now, kuha ko pa rin siya. But again, yung laman ng aking stock market channel is that I wanted to impart my thoughts and educate people on investing in the stock market. And kaya ako naniniwala sa fundamentals. That's why I also feature news items on selected stocks or news of the day. Kasi naniniwala ako sa fundamentals eh.
Yeah.
So kung maganda yung, halimbawa may binibit kumpanyang ito, and then yung PE ratio niya mababa, or the what do you call this, debt equity ratio is
Mm-mm.
just no, hindi naman lopsided, then this should be a good stock, and then it consistently earns and gives dividends, and subsequently it became part of the index, and that should be a good stock.
Nice. I'm consistently watching your videos. I do
For
watch.
so many years, di ba?
Ay, sorry. It's overlapping. Sabi ko lang na, yeah, I do watch your videos each time na meron kang episode. I do watch it, and I closely listen to your insights kasi solid yung fundamental insights that you share. So I'm sure one day your channel will just shoot up in viewers and subscribers. So guys, for those people following Miss JD, you gotta check out Benjamin's uh, channel. The name of the channel is Stock Market Today, or your name. What's the name of the channel itself?
Um, it's my name, Benjamin Chodoro.
Yun, guys.
Tama nga ba?
So we search for your name, lalabas yung channel mo. Tama ba?
That's right.
Benjamin
And I
Chodoro.
always tell my viewers that when I was just starting, you were a lot of help to me.
Oh, mas nauna ka kaya
Yes,
sa
I always tell that. Pero alam mo, bago lang ako sa YouTube, di ba? Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko diyan, anong
may
platform ang
editing ka.
gagamitin ko.
May
Di
nag-edit
ba?
ka na ngayon eh. Sa ako, wala akong edit.
Actually, pinag-aralan talaga yung editing. And then my sister kasi does the marunong siyang gumawa nung anong tawag dito? Mga short intros. Ginawa niya ako ng intro.
Nice. Galing. Oo nga, ang ganda kaya. So, yun, one
And
other thing, so we all know that you feature stocks, you do technical analysis, one of course to share insights to your viewers and document your thought process as well. Ano kaya ang, if I am to ask you now, and this is not a financial advice, everyone. We always say that because your profile is not the same as
is
my
really
profile
different,
and his
correct?
profile.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
but just in your perspective, based on the stocks that you've studied recently, can you cite maybe one to two stocks that you think will have a big potential in the mid to long term perspective? This is addressing those investors who are,
Okay.
thinking of ano kaya ang stock bibilin ko? Patutulugin ko lang yung pera ko dyan. Parang ganong perspective.
Okay. Ako sa akin, if I were to invest, number one stock is Pacific. Kasi
Sorry,
yung
say
real
that
value
again.
ng stock na yan, hindi lang
So,
Metro Pacific, MPI.
okay. Sorry. Line was breaking up. So you said MPI. Okay. Why MPI?
Yeah. Because the real value of the stock is not the value that we see now. Kasi kung titingnan natin yung value ng stock, nasa 380, 390 lang siya eh.
Oo, blue chip pa yun.
Ang real value niyan, hindi 380 or 390, nasa 660. 6 pesos.
Oo.
And doon siya naglalaro and yun si Metro Pacific. Yung mga ospital niya kumikita, Makati Med, Cardinal Santos, Tollways, Meralco, Manila, may water concession siya, di ba? Lahat yan kumikita.
Nag-swing break lang ako dyan nung isang beses.
Ng tao. And
Pero ang ganda ng totoo yan. Ang ganda ng
long term, kung gusto mo long term, Metro Pacific ka. Ngayon, if you wanted also another stock na magandang potential is Pure Gold. Pure Gold, malaki yung potential ni Pure Gold, especially now that the country is rising from the pandemic. People buy stock in sa store, oh, halos cards, akala mo walang pandemic eh. So that's another stock. And another one which I would, of course, ito, no, mag-aantay kayo dito ha, hindi overnight tataas yan. Mag-aantay kayo. It may be weeks, months, or perhaps years, pero you will never go wrong with it. Eh. So another one is Meralco. Meralco is a utility firm. Actually, part of the Metro Pacific Group yan si Meralco. But who can go wrong with electricity? The problem lang kasi with Meralco is it is highly regulated. Eh. So, tsaka sensitive siya sa price. So, magtaas lang ng presyo, akala ng tao, si Meralco may kasalanan.
Oo.
But it's actually pass on. Pass on lang si Meralco from. But you take a look at the track record of Meralco in giving dividends, malaki yung binibigay niyang dividends. And malaki yung potential niya to, malaki yung potential niya na mag-appreciate pa yung stock. Kasi growing population tayo eh. Everybody needs power. Di ba? Just like utilities, everybody needs water.
So isn't renewable energy going to be a threat to Meralco? What do you think?
I don't think so. Kasi Meralco is just distributor lang siya ng power eh. Of course, meron din siyang, I think, mga power generations. But most of them, like halimbawa, kumukuha siya ng power from different sources eh. Ang marami kasing oil-fired or coal-fired plants, si SCC. Yun ang coal plants. So they are now thinking of transforming to renewable energy. Para si San Miguel, marami din siyang coal-fired plants eh. Now, ASEN is already almost there, di ba? Kasi yung mga ibang coal-fired plants, tinatranspose na nila into renewable energy. Pati yung green. I think green is also nag-move up na siya. And then there's this new stock, SPNEC. Ito yung Televiste.
Nag-IPO yun the other day, no?
Nag-IPO yun. In fact, the IPO is 1 peso. But how much is it now? 138.
Today, ang taas-taas niya.
Today, it's 138, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, do I have the right understanding? So, Meralco is a distributor of power. And then, Meralco can get the power from different sources. It doesn't have to be coal. Pwede ngang solar or renewable.
Pwede solar.
So, ASEN would be, kunwari, ASEN is the supplier, Meralco is the distributor. Okay.
Yes. Si SGP naman. Si SGP yan yung transmission lines naman yan.
Oo. So yung SCC mataas din magbigay ng ng dividend. But you mentioned that they're slowly migrating to a different type of energy.
And then SGP is the transmission lines. So yun, those are the three stocks which I think if you are a long-term investor, kasi ako I'm more of a long-term, medium to long-term investor. And I also have a few stocks in my portfolio which I trade, which I use for trading. But the rest, like Ayala Corporation, Metro Pacific, Pure Gold, PLDT, BDO,
Mm-mm.
long-term lahat yun.
Okay,
Long-term
okay.
lahat.
Got it. Do you separate it, yung trading portfolio mo and then investing
Yes.
portfolio, naka-separate?
I have two separate portfolios. One is for investment, which I hold for dividends,
Mm-mm.
capital appreciation, yun ang objective ko dun eh. The other one is for trading, which yan yung mga extra cash ko na baka tumaas yung stock na ito or uh, yung matalo ka man, okay lang.
So, so how's your so you are partly an investor tapos you have a separate stock. Sa trading naman, anong profile mo as a trader?
I have a few speculative stocks, pero mga talo yun eh. Talo yung speculative ko eh. But hindi kasi malalaki investment ko dyan eh. Siguro mga 5,000-10,000 lang.
Do you day trade o position trader ka pa din na mid, buy low and then you hold it for a few days?
I hold it for a few days and then kung talagang talo, I sell it off. Kasi no point in holding it eh. That's mindset of a trader. Kasi kung long term ka, you hold it for a long time and not even think about it eh. Pero dun sa trading, ang objective ko is anong tawag doon? Yung ma-roll mo yung pera eh. Para magamit for another.
Correct. Kaya nagka-cut loss kapag hindi na ayon sa direction.
As long as 2 weeks and then yeah, kung hindi na viable yung idea, trade idea. Something like that.
Okay. I have my last two questions, very quick one. So what is your advice for the two segments I will mention? One would be for those people who are considering to start their journey in the stock market or just starting their journey. So what's your advice for them? And number two, what are your advice for the people who are about to retire and would like to seek any source of activities or anything na mapagkakaabalahan, or if they want to start a journey in the market for these people?
So yung advice ko for those starting stock market, my advice is start early. As early as kung pwede ka na mag-open ng account, mag-start ka na mag-invest. Not necessarily in the stock market. Not necessarily in the stock market. You start first with the conservative like treasury bills, bonds, mga safe safe instruments yun eh. Government securities, RTBs, and then if you have dollars, maglagay ka sa may dollar RTB. I don't know if you were able to invest there, no? To mga 3%. Malaki na yun. And then, yung mga conservative muna. And then you move on to, say, halimbawa, mutual funds or UITFs. Kasi, ang pinaka-importante kasi as a young professional, kailangan kasi kung start ka na lang magtrabaho, mag-ipon ka na dyan, mag-save ka na dyan. You start investing. Kasi, sa totoo lang, I never did that when I was young. I was happy-go-lucky actually, which is mali. I only realized it when I was already in my 40s, in my 50s. And just the same, nakahabol pa rin ako. But mas malaking advantage if you start early.
Correct.
Yes, just imagine, di ba? You start early and then pag-aralan niyo yung stock market. Actually, you can quit your job eh. If you are very good in picking stocks and investing, doing technical analysis on stocks, you can quit your job and be a full-time trader in the stock market. Hawak mo pa yung oras mo. And
so, hopefully someday yung skill like personally.
Kasi sa financials kasi, ang pinakauna, before you invest actually, kailangan i-build up mo muna yung emergency fund mo.
Mm.
Kailangan may emergency fund ka. In the Philippines kasi, you have to have at least 6 months of your monthly salary as your emergency fund.
True.
Rule of thumb in the Philippines. And after you build up your emergency fund, diyan ka na mag-invest. Kasi, halimbawa, mawalan ka ng trabaho, you can go to your emergency fund. Ma-hospital yung dyan. Hindi magagalaw yung ano mo, yung salary mo, day to day pa rin yun. Diba? Or you have enough time to look for another job if you lose your job.
Correct.
So after that, invest ka na. And then build up your savings. And then, ang pinaka-risky kasi is going into the stock market. Yun yung pinaka-risky na product. Kasi malaki yung gain, malaki rin ang potential loss dyan kung hindi ka marunong.
Correct. So the key takeaway there is, if you're considering it, start it early. Don't waste time.
Start early. Start right now.
Correct. Ano naman sa mga people about to retire? Anong ma-advise mo sa kanila?
About to retire.
Pero siguro yung mga yon kasi pa-retire na sila.
Kasi kung pa-retire na kayo, kailangan meron na kayong naipon dyan eh. Kasi if you will just rely on, say, your provident fund, for example, na, halimbawa, kasi mga companies may mga provident fund dyan, na they take out a few thousand pesos from your salary and invest it, ano. But you have to do something extra pa if you will retire. Kasi kailangan ma-compute mo yung gusto mong income. You have to compute backwards. Like for instance, what is my lifespan? Ako, Miss JD, ano na to? Financial planning na to. Hindi naman ako financial planner. Pero ganun na ginawa ko Ganun na ginawa ko. Baka ma-accuse tayo na nagbibigay ng financial advice.
This is not a financial advice.
Anyway.
Natin, heads up sa kanila.
You may or may not follow it, You may not follow it. But ganito ang ginawa ko. So, yung since I was already invested in the stock market, yung may mga preferred, kasi noon may mga preferred shares Diba? But ang disadvantage kasi ng preferred shares, one of the preferred shares that I had was San Miguel. Yan yung code niya. Yan yung stock market code niya. Earns 8%. You remove the 10% tax at 7.2% a year. And heavily invested ako doon. Kasi alam ko naman sa San Miguel hindi magde-default yun Anyway, natapos na yun. So, I gradually shifted to another product. And I shifted to REITs, MREIT, A-REIT. Kasi it earns, magandang REITs, kasi 90%, as mandated by law, 90% of the income is returned as cash dividends. And another, which I invested in, alam mo yung I got my retirement fund. That's extra money already. Alam mo kung saan ako nilagay? Kasi more on the fixed income ka na pagka nagre-retire ka na. You would need return, di ba? I placed it in Pag-ibig. You know why?
Laki
Pag-ibig gives you, kasi last year it gave us 6.12% return tax-free. Walang tax yun. And the principal is guaranteed by the Republic of the Philippines. The Philippine government guarantees the return of your principal. If something happens to Pag-ibig, it will return to you by law. So doon ako naglagay majority of my. Of course, I also have the risk assets like stocks, yung investment portfolio. I still maintain that. So all in all, plus my SSS pension, I'm able to live. Buhay pa
Kaya,
ako.
so good thing you were able to um, kahit hindi man too early, you were able to start midway, and then now you're availing the fruits of your investment na parang monthly may salary ka pa din.
Correct. Alam mo, Miss JD, my advice to people who are employed, is that you take advantage of pag-ibig. Right
Mm.
now, you can tell your HR to deduct additional to MP2.
Oo.
MP2 kasi is the highest yielding portfolio of pag-ibig eh.
Mm-mm.
So, kasi ang dinideduct lang sa'yo is, I think, 100 or minimal lang yan.
Basic lang.
200 pesos lang yata.
Oo.
200. And then, ang ginawa ko kasi in 2015, when I knew that in 5 years time I will retire,
Mm-mm.
pinadagdag ko sa HR yung contribution ko sa pag-ibig. And when I retired, it was a lot already. Plus yung retirement ko na nilagay ko rin doon.
So yung payout nila every year, every month, every year
they pay out every year.
Every
Yes,
year yung payout.
That's right. But if you're still employed, they will give you kailangan kasi no, dati kasi 5 years eh. But when I retired, they allowed the yearly release of dividends. Dividends ang tawag nila doon eh.
So yun guys, you gotta check that out. Ilang beses, ang dami na akong videos na panood about MP2 pero parang hindi ko talaga na tunan ng pansin. Pero I think yung potential, knowing that you mentioned today na wala siyang technically less than 5% risk level lang siya because the government guarantees the return of your investment, whatever happens.
Government guaranteed yan. Tax-free pa.
At saka yun, ang kagandaan, tax-free pa. Yan. So I think today has been very, very fruitful. A lot of insights and a lot of knowledge that Benjamin has shared to us, guys. Thank you very much for dropping by our channel. And please do support his channel. Very solid, guys. He shares a lot of fundamental analysis paired with technical analysis. Solid channel. So check that out. I'll drop a link in the description so you can easily click that and visit his channel. He also reviews every day. So hindi kayo mawawalan ng video. Every day may video kayong mapapanood from Benjamin. There you have it.
Miss JD, may I just give one very short lang to. Kasi yesterday I was in Tandansora, Quezon City because my nephew or my tama nga ba? Nephew is a part owner of Cafe Claus. Cafe Claus is the first Christmas themed cafe in the Philippines. Yeah. So they're promoting that. Kasi every day pagka pumasok is Christmas siya. So I hope our viewers would take that up. Ang owners doon kasi is one of them is an actor, si Ken Chan. 11 Cafe Claus. Sa Cafe Claus.
Pero ang gandang concept yun napanood ko yung video, in-interview siya ng reporter.
Yes.
Pero ang gandang concept because, yun nga, in some other countries, hindi ko lang alam kung Germany or somewhere, may mga ganun na year-round ang theme ng restaurant na parang Christmas. And that's the only cafe here in the country na year-round yung concept nila magiging Christmas. So, tama nga naman. If you want to be happy and hang out in a place that will give you that vibe, I think that's a good cafe to check out. They're in Tandansora, and then they're opening one in Green. Tama ba? Green Hills?
Sora.
May yes. Second.
They'll open one in Green Hills and the other one in Eastwood.
Ayun.
And then I think they have plans of expanding na eh. Tagaytay,
Mm-mm.
um, some other parts of the country. Yun yung sinabi ng mga owners that
Oo.
those are serve as commissary.
Ah,
Magiging commissary yun. Aside from being a cafe.
nice, nice. Yun guys, so check that out. You can actually watch the video in Benjamin's channel. So you see the ambience of the cafe. So there you have it. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe as well in our channel here, so you can be updated with the next videos that I have. Okay. Bye bye for
Yes.
now. Thank you, Benjamin.
Thank you, Miss JD, for having me.
There. Bye bye.
Bye. So,